Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. We need to talk about Xana's mom, Cara Denise Kernodle, also known as Cara Northington. Now think about it, Kaylee and Ethan both seem to come from very happy, functional nuclear families. We've seen their families on television, we've seen them, both parents and even siblings, appearing in documentaries, appearing on television, talking about their sibling, talking about their son or daughter, right? They come from very happy nuclear families. But then of the four victims, Maddie and Xana seem to come from a less warm and fuzzy family situation. Would you agree with that? But it's hard to say whether anyone had a more challenging situation on the home front than Xana's, given her mother Cara's addiction problems. And so if we're going to explore the drug narrative in terms of the prime suspect in this case, what about the drug narrative in terms of some of the other people, the victims in the story? And is there any way that drugs could have been a way that these people could have come together, or have at least approached one another or come closer to one another in a particular neighborhood? Before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Bear in mind, I'm going to be doing a live on the murder case. I've not really covered that case on this channel before, so if you're interested in it, look out for that. I do have a university background in law, and I have sat in on criminal cases, so if you're interested in my views and my opinions, then check that out. If you're enjoying this episode, please like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So if you think about this dysfunctional home life, it's possible that that is what attracted Xana to Ethan. In other words, the exact opposite. Not only his clean living, honest to goodness vibe, you really get a sense that he's a nice guy, a good guy, a kind of a clean living person. But I think what she also liked about him was his good relations with his family, the fact that his family seems so close, and they seem to have such a genuine relationship with one another. And in a situation like that, they could kind of take Xana under their wing as well, and sort of they kind of become her family by extension. So it's possible what attracted Ethan to Xana was that she needed someone to sort of take care of her in a sense, but at the same time her fun-loving attitude, that she really did seem to want to enjoy life, and she added a bit of zing to what's kind of going on. And some of that may have been an attempt to escape from or deal with her not so pleasant home situation. It may have been a kind of escapism. One does have a sense, even in the aftermath to this case, that Xana's mother has been so wrapped up in her own life and her own problems that Xana's death has hardly registered with her. You might think that that's a cruel thing to say, or that people deal with death differently. But if you actually look at some of the information that has come out, that around the time that Xana died, her mother was basically in trouble over drugs. In fact, just 6 days after the murders, her mother was, drug charges were filed against Cara. And so I think you may have a weird parallel here. You may have a weird situation where those drug charges related to her mother finding out something terrible had happened to her daughter, and this was her way of coping with it, right? And in other words, in that place of devastation, that place of grief, that place of heartache, but also to some extent a place of being lonely and, that sense also of just the injury caused by this unknown perpetrator taking her daughter away from her. And then also possibly could a similar dynamic like that have played into the psychology of the killer. Also someone who was on the outside dealing with a tremendous sense of loss or grief. And how then did he deal with that? If we go to the coverage from News Nation, and this was put up, I think, yesterday, We get a different name, Cara Northington. I'm not quite sure whether she's married since then or if she's reverted to her maiden name, but Cara Northington and Cara Kernodle are sort of the same person. Anyway, the article says that she's facing the harsh reality that the person she trusted most has now dropped her case. Now, I must say, you sort of wonder, is she facing the harsh reality, or is she actually trying to, isn't that what she's been trying to avoid? Not only right now, but prior to this. Is the whole issue with Cara that she's been struggling to face harsh reality. But in particular, she's not happy that Ann Taylor, the chief of the Kootenai County Public Defender's Office, she's withdrawn from Northington's case, from Cara's case. That happened on January 5th, right? Just 3 weeks ago. And that was the same day that Koberger made his first court appearance. We also know, as I said earlier, that drug charges were filed against Cara, Xana's mother, on November 19. So it just gives you an idea of what her mother was doing at the time that all of this happened. That Xana's mother was really in trouble with the law, not only here, but prior to that. And as far as I remember, it was Xana's father who came to her home and actually changed the locks of her bedroom. And what was the reason for that? Did it have anything to do with her mother? Did it have anything to do with people her mother knew? But it is very strange reading this article from News Nation and hearing that Xana's mother's heartbroken because she trusted her attorney, and that's really where she's feeling a sense of betrayal and loss, right? I suppose you could say, well, it's because she's now defending the killer of her child. On News Nation, Ashley Banfield asked Xana's mother to describe her daughter, and she described Xana as tough, as strong and funny. And you do get a sense that of all the female victims, Xana seems to have, first of all, gone to bed last, and also stood up, possibly to the greatest extent, to the killer, because we heard noises coming from there. And I think she's the only female victim that wasn't found in bed either. The other thing that Cara says, Xana's mother says, is that Xana would want all of us to live our best life and remember the good things about her. And I hope that is going to apply to her mother. I hope that this is going to lead to a turning point in her mother's life. And I guess this is an area where the true crime community can reach out to her and try and get her the sort of treatment that she needs, and also the legal help that she needs. Because I think there's two basic paths from this point for Xana's mother. She's either going to go down a downward spiral, or someone is going to reach out to her at the brink where she is and possibly help her get the sort of help that she needs. And maybe the other victims' families could reach out to her as well, those who are in a better position to deal with what they've got to deal with. Obviously, Xana's mother's not in a very good position right now. So maybe this is a way of bringing out a silver lining to a very horrible situation by helping to save someone else that we've come to know due to this tragedy. I'm not going to take it further than that, but I do want to address the number 9 clue we all missed in the next video that I'm going to do dealing with this case. So look out for that. Also look out for the live stream on the murder trial, highlighting the opening statements. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.